Hey guys, it's Natalie. Welcome to my channel, and today I'm here with Chloe from xochloegordon, and today we're going to be talking about our Louis Vuitton Speedy bags and what we like about them, what we dislike about them, the similarities, and all that stuff.
I have the Speedy 30 in the Damier Ebene, and this is from, I've had this since 2012.
And mine is the Speedy 35, so a little bit bigger, and I got it in the Monogram, and I purchased this in September. So it's very new. As you can see, there's no patina on the handles or anything. I guess I'll start by saying that I originally bought the Speedy 35 in Damier Ebene, and I ended up exchanging it for the Monogram. I think maybe because I guess I wanted more of a classic look, and I think in the larger size the Damier Ebene looked less formal, and I kind of fell in love with the Monogram once I had more time to try it on. But it's kind of interesting how I always liked the Damier, and then I changed my mind kind of last minute.
Yeah, I'm definitely a Damier girl. I spent a very long time considering this purchase, and I mean, it was my first designer bag, so it holds a very special place in my heart. And especially since the prices have gone up crazy since then, I feel also just a little bit sneaky about it because I got a great deal on this compared to what they cost now. So.
And it's crazy because that was only 4 years ago. Like, I had friends who bought them like graduating from high school or first or second year university, and that was only like 2010. And I mean, it's insane how they've like tripled in price practically.
Yeah,
it's
insane.
crazy.
It's so crazy. So I always look at this and I have a little smile of like, ooh, I didn't pay a lot for that.
Yeah. I was a little bit lucky too. I did a lot of research, and I ended up buying a bag from the duty free at Heathrow Airport when I went to my trip to London, and I think I saved about 500 Canadian. It came in just under $1,000. It was about 900 Canadian after all the conversions. Just saving the tax is just really key. I think if you are traveling abroad, even to the US, it's worth considering just getting your Global Blue tax form or finding a store that does do it duty-free. I think the only duty-free store right now is in Heathrow Airport. So if you're ever flying through there, definitely make the effort and stop by, because I think it's really worth it. I think even if I would go back, I would come back and maybe pick up a wallet or a strap or just something, just because you are saving a lot of money.
So how do you find the size for the 35?
I find the size is okay. I think because I'm taller, I feel like it doesn't look out of place on me.
Fair.
I also like that having a bit more on the sides kind of balances the look of the bag, because the handles I think are the same size no matter.
I think so, yeah.
No matter what, whether you have the 25 or the 30 or the 35, I feel like it feels more like a doctor bag, like maybe just a little bit more space on each side. So I kind of ended up liking that. I also like that I can fit in my camera in here. So right now I have like a cardboard base shaper that I made myself, but I sometimes toss in my camera into this, which is convenient. I don't know if I could do it in the 30, so.
It's a tight fit. Not that this isn't huge.
Right, it is still pretty big.
It's still very large and a little bit of a bottomless pit. It does have, you know, the typical kind of one pocket sort of thing, and that's useful to put your phone in or whatever.
Is it the same size actually?
I think yours is bigger.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is kind of nice. I found that I have been able to fit in my iPhone into
and
this
yours
pocket.
has a zipper. Mine doesn't have a zipper.
Oh, okay. So
mine's just like a slot on mine.
Maybe this is a new feature, but
maybe.
I am able to fit my iPhone into here, which is kind of nice because it feels pretty secure in case you're, you know, somewhere busy, if you're traveling, you're on the subway, and you want to be careful for your belongings. You can fit an iPhone 7 in here. Probably not the Plus, but the regular iPhone fits. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah, I don't think my phone would fit in here. I mean, laying it up against it, I think it would fit. Let's see. Let's get my phone up. So here, it's just a small opening is the problem. So,
I guess it's not long enough.
It's not long enough. It's like barely. But like laying it over top of it, my phone would fit. But in practice, not so much. So yeah, so there's a difference. Yours has a zipper.
I guess maybe it's something new that they've added to these bags just to kind of make them more practical, functional, especially in this day and age. But I would be curious. I assume that the pocket would probably be smaller if you had gotten the 30. I originally wanted the 30, but ended up with the 35 just because the airport had such limited supply. I think I snagged the last Speedy they had in any color. I kind of, at that point, I'm like, just give me any color, I can always exchange it later. So, do you also have a key ring?
I do.
Yeah, so there is a key ring inside here. I find I switch my bags a lot, so I don't
I don't use it very much.
I don't use it. So.
No. And I don't really have many things that like can clip on. Like I have my, this thing, but there's like the strap that comes with that has a clip, but I don't have that on it right now. So I don't really use that clip.
I think one thing that would be really helpful is just talking about the sag. So right now I have a cardboard base shaper that I just cut to size and measured, and it's actually from a Sephora box, and I just kind of tape the edges and put inside.
Nice DIY.
Yeah. I just put it inside because I found the sag was pretty bad, so I might just take it out for... Do you have a base shaper in yours right now?
I don't, and I have quite a bit of stuff in here. I've got like my phone, my wallet, this thing, and various other like just
for this video
stuff.
I keep a soft fleece blanket inside my bag just to keep its shape because I want to get rid of the creases because it is a new bag. So for the video I'm going to show you how much it sags, and I am not a fan of this look. It just looks like a deflated balloon to me. Yeah, the 30 definitely holds its shape a lot more. I think I was comparing sizes, and Jessica Simpson always wears a 35, and on the purse form they always call it the Simpson sag. And it's just, I don't like it. So if I wear this bag, I usually stuff a scarf because I usually always get cold, so I always bring a cardigan with me. Or now for the past few weeks I've been just using this little
I love that.
Yeah. I think I might even cover it with some felt just to like keep it from getting dirty, but you can always just swap this out, like just keep making new ones. And I kind of just rounded the corners just so that it doesn't poke through, but yeah, just Sephora box.
Yeah, I might do that. Like I just got a Sephora delivery today, so I might have to use the box for that. I find that like this has held its shape really well, and I think it being smaller has kind of contributed to that. I also find like wear and tear, it has held up really nicely. Part of what I really like about the Damier is the dark handles. I really like the look of the light leather, but when they get patina, it's really lovely, but it can also get kind of grimy and like dark and gross. I find
totally agree,
yeah, so I really like the dark handles and the dark trim just to start off with, so that I'm not worried about like getting things dirty. Or
do you have any cracking or any peeling? Because that was something I was worried about.
No,
with
I don't.
The Neverfull.
I've been really lucky. I've also I treat this very well. But yeah, like I have not had any cracking or peeling, and I do know what that looks like because on this one, on my pochette here, like there's a little bit of peeling, a little bit, and on the handle that's on it that I have at home, there's a little bit of peeling.
Okay.
So, but I did buy this used, so not my fault.
Yeah.
Not my fault. It wasn't me. But yeah, I find that the leather on this just is held up amazingly well. So
I do really like this vachetta leather, mainly because it's just really soft. It's very buttery. I love the smell of it. It has this beautiful feel to it. I have been very careful. I do not wear this with anything dark. I don't wear it with jeans. I make sure, like a day like today, it's snowing outside, I would never take it outside, which is kind of sad. I mean, that's definitely the advantage of the Damier, because if you live in Canada, I mean, we have bad weather for half the year at least. So that's one consideration.
That was really something I thought about too. I was like, can I carry this in the winter? And also, like, I'm just not as big of a fan of the Monogram as I am of this, so that kind of worked out in that favor. But like, I have no fear carrying this in the winter time. Because like the coated canvas, you can just wipe that off. And then if the leather gets a little bit wet, you can just dry it off. And it's not going to get the watermarks the same way that they are going to come on those.
I'm kind of looking forward to building a little bit of a patina because then I'll be a lot less scared. So yeah. I think it's going to be a little bit of a work in progress.
So something I really like about the Damier Ebene is the red lining. And you see this also on the Neverfull in the Damier Ebene, the really, really nice red lining. I love it.
It's so pretty.
I love opening my bag and seeing this like big red surprise.
I think it helps you find your things inside too.
Yeah, because the contrast is there too. And I'm not as afraid of getting the lining dirty.
Right.
As I would be with a lighter lining. I know that this is like brown as well.
Right.
But there are some bags, especially like there's one of the Neverfulls that's like a light beige sort of lining, and I don't know how people do that.
That would just get filthy. There's also now a really pretty light pink. I think it's called Ballerine, and it's so beautiful, and I would love to have the pink lining, but I know I would probably opt for the red or like the fuchsia just because it's the most foolhardy. The lining in mine is pretty dark too. It's this dark brown. It's just kind of classic. I do find when you look inside your bag, it's just like a brown abyss, especially because it's so cavernous inside. When you look in, it's pretty nuts. So I'm even thinking of maybe covering my base shaper in like a red or like a light pink just to brighten it up a bit.
Because the color really helps.
Definitely. But so far, I mean, it's kind of just like a neutral. I know it's almost surprising to me when you have a designer bag and it's just a cloth linen lining. Yeah. I guess I'm used to even like my Macaj bags have suede linings and they're under $500. So, I mean, that's kind of...
Yeah. Well, you're paying for the name a little bit on here.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. But I think if you do have the opportunity to buy vintage or go get it duty free or resell, that kind of thing, I think it's a bag worth having.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I think I would hesitate to buy new right now.
Definitely.
Just based on like how that I know that I got this for $750 4 years ago, and that now it's over $1,000.
It's insane.
And
I think it works out to be like $1,450 in Canadian dollars, which just, I can't believe it. I mean, I paid about just under $900, which I still think is okay.
Yeah, for sure.
4 years difference from yours. I mean, inflation a little bit more of designer prestige, so it's not the worst. But I would never pay $1,400 for this bag. Like, I can think of so many other brands that I would rather buy used or just buy like several bags from contemporary designers. I think you'd get a lot more wear out of, but I mean, I'm happy with the classic.
Yeah, I really like it. And I think the only way that I would like this more is if I had bought the bandolier. I had thought of that at the beginning, like when I was looking at this, I had thought of it, but I was like, oh no, that's too expensive. I mean, now it's like a bomb. But like a friend of mine recently got the bandolier, and I just saw it on her, and I was like, oh, I love that. I think it would have added a little level of practicality. Like, I know that you can like get a strap that you can clip onto here or whatever, but I like the sturdiness of having it be on the ends.
I think it also helps maintain its shape because it will have a stripe of leather. And I think it also makes sense to have the strap go across the bag and not just across these two little handles.
Yeah, for sure.
But I wanted to get a bandolier as well, but the price difference when you're buying new is just so insane. I think in pounds it was like 200, 300 pounds extra, which is just crazy. I mean, it was more than half the price of the bag in pounds to add the bandolier option. Don't quote me on that, but it just seemed like it was just an astronomical amount of money just for a little bit of leather. I think also on the 35, I would not like the bandolier because it is a lot bigger.
Yeah.
I think if I would get the bandolier, I would opt for the 25 even in the Damier Ebene. Just have like a really cute kind of crossbody bag. Yeah. I think that would probably be the best.
I'd be inclined to agree with you on that. Because I think, like, I've tried to wear this crossbody with like a clip on here because I do have a Louis Vuitton strap for my pochettes. And I tried clipping it on here and kind of wearing it. It just felt awkward and big and weird. So I think...
Was it like knocking against your hip?
Yeah, and it just felt large. And it was just a weird... It didn't seem right. It didn't feel right.
Yeah.
So I think the bandolier for the 25 would be...
Probably the most ideal.
Really good. Yeah.
And I kind of like that it's more of like that ladylike look, that you wear it on the crook of your hand or you kind of just carry it, you know, on the side of your body. I think it's the most classic bag, I think, of all time, and kind of carrying it like it was supposed to be carried, I think, is also nice.
And it's definitely a bag that like everybody recognizes.
Definitely.
So I don't know, it's kind of fun to walk around with this and have people
Yeah.
look at you and like look at your bag and compliment you on your bag and that kind of
Right.
thing. So it's also kind of fun.
Definitely. I think I've only worn this bag maybe 4 or 5 times, and every time I've worn it, I've gotten like people always staring. And I think also in Ottawa, a lot less. I think it's not as brand conscious as Toronto is.
Yeah.
Especially the area I live in Toronto, up in North York. Everyone has a designer bag, so here I think it's really special.
Yeah. Well, because
Yeah.
we've never had a Louis Vuitton.
Right.
here.
Right.
Like even when Holtz was here, like they didn't have Louis Vuitton, so
Mm-hmm.
it's more of a
It's a special
It's a
purchase.
special purchase,
right?
yeah,
Like
for
you're
sure.
traveling or you visit Toronto or you go overseas, and it's kind of like a really nice memory.
see. I mean, it's only 5 centimeters, but like I feel like there's a significant difference.
I think because it's 5 centimeters spread all around, I think both in length and especially in height, I think there's a
Yeah.
large height difference. And I think definitely where you're going to see the difference is in the sag. I think the sag of the 35 is definitely, it's not ideal. So that is why I always use a base shaper.
I don't really care about the sag on this.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
It looks ideal for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's what contributed to me deciding to switch to the monogram, is I did not like the look of the saggy Damier Ebene.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Damier Ebene is that squareness, and when you have the sag, it kind of ruins the graphic lines. And I thought the monogram was kind of just more camouflaged. So there you have it. This is our little comparison between the Speedy Monogram in 35 and the Speedy Damier Ebene in 30. So thank you so much for watching our little comparison video.
Yeah.
You can subscribe to Chloe's channel and link below, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.